Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I wanted to show you how I made this cute little kawaii pumpkin squishy. I've been meaning to do one for the longest of times because I love Halloween. I've just never got around to it. So anyway, today I finally brought you that. So with a small block of memory foam, I just took a Sharpie pen and drew out the kind of side profile of a pumpkin. I actually completely ignored that and just kind of shaped the foam out to be kind of a rough kind of sphere. And then taking my Sharpie pen again, I just draw 6 kind of lines around it, and then with like the very tip of my scissors I just made an indent along those lines and smoothed out to kind of make different segments in the pumpkin. So as you can see, I'm just smoothing out and really focusing on one segment at a time, and then when I move on to the next one I use the very tip of my scissors to first create that line, and then I go ahead and smooth it out again. I basically did this all the way around the whole entirety of the shape. It did take me a while, but it was totally worth it. So once I had the shape all completely done, what I then did was took a piece of off-cut foam and I just kind of shaped out a stalk from that, just using my scissors once again, and taking some hot glue, I just hot glued that onto the top of the pumpkin. Now you can of course use fabric glue if you want to. I am really impatient and I use hot glue. I say this in every video, but basically I use a very small amount on a low heat setting, and yeah, I just stick it on with that because I am really impatient. This does leave a tiny like kind of hard spot, but if you use as little as possible you can minimize that, but of course you can use fabric glue if you don't want a single hard spot at all. So anyway, I then popped my pumpkin onto a metal like meat skewer, which is used for barbecues and stuff, and I use this on my squishies so that I'm able to kind of paint the whole of the squishy at one time, rather than just like doing half of it, leaving it dry, doing half of it, leaving it dry. I just kind of like to pop it in a skewer and then I can paint the whole entirety of the shape. So for this one I actually mixed up a puffy paint mixture, just using some orange 3D fabric paint by Scribbles, some white puffy paint by Tulip, and some PVA glue mixed in. I also added a little bit of shaving foam into this mixture just to kind of thicken it up, because for some reason today it was a little bit watery. I used a foam sponge kind of applicator for this instead of a lollipop stick like usual, just because I had it to hand and it was a bit dirty, so I figured I would just use that instead of wasting another popsicle stick. Now what you want to do is create really kind of thick layers, leaving it to dry in between, and I went ahead and actually did about 4 layers in total of the puffy paint, leaving it to dry like I said in between each layer for about a couple hours. To be honest, like this took me all day, but yeah, that's what you want to do. You just want to build it up until you have a really smooth surface that then when squished it makes it nice and slow rising. As you can see here, because I've put on so many layers, the air kind of traps inside and makes it more slow rising, so that's exactly what we want. Anyway, so once I was completely happy with all the orange colour, I then moved on and kind of decided what surface I wanted to pop the face on. I just kind of found like the flattest kind of surface of the whole pumpkin, and I just went ahead and painted a face on that side. It's a lot easier to paint the face on a flatter surface than it is kind of like one of the really protruding areas, just because like you won't be able to see it at every single angle. So yeah, I just chose the flattest kind of side. I painted on 2 eyes with some black puffy paint and a paintbrush, and I painted on an open mouth in between. I also then took some white puffy paint with a dotting tool and added some highlight to the eyes, and taken some pink puffy paint mixture that I had like left over from another project. I just put on some blush either side of the eyes and then as a tongue in the middle of that mouth. What I then did was I also mixed up a browny green colour, and I actually used the tulip kind of brown, you know, the one that I usually use for chocolate kind of icing. I used that and I mixed in some of the neon green by Tulip as well. I'm not a fan of that paint, don't recommend it at all, but I still have some left over from a collab that I did with Holly, and yeah, I just mixed those 2 colours together to make this colour for the stalk. I then left all that puffy paint to dry for another hour or so, and then my squishy was then complete. So all that's left to do now is completely squish the squishy, which is obviously my favourite part. But anyway, I'm really happy with how this turned out. It turned out exactly how I kind of envisioned it in my head. Envisioned, yeah, that's right. It matches my nails and my t-shirt too, which is always a bonus because then we can have matching, and I love matching stuff. As you can see, it's really soft and it is quite slow rising, especially for the fact that it is a homemade squishy. But yeah, I'm really happy with just how it turned out, and I feel like I could say that forever. So if you have any more ideas for Halloween squishies that you'd maybe want to see, just leave them in the comments down below. I do have a lot of ideas already, but I would love to hear your suggestions. If you like this video, then please do give it a thumbs up, as it does help me on my way, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!